Hi, I'm Bimba student Peter Mohol. Today we're joined by Professor David Vinter, who was born and raised in South Africa, where he attended the University of Stellenbosch. After a successful psychology practice, he served under Nelson Mandela as the Director General of Government Communication and Information during the transition from apartheid to democracy. Over the last decade, he's presented courses on negotiation at Harvard, Cambridge, and here at Bimba. He is currently a full-time professor at the Vlerick Business School in Belgium. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Peter. It's a great honor to be here, and I look forward to talking to you. Thank you very much.
How does the experience of working with Nelson Mandela and his government influence your teaching of negotiations?
Peter, Nelson Mandela, I think, is the greatest individual that has ever walked the soils of Africa. There's no doubt about it. I don't also think that a guy like that comes more often than once in a century to a continent. But Nelson was a man with a deep-seated vision. He knew where he wanted to go, but that vision was rooted in universal values. Nelson believed in mankind. He believed that his destiny was to bring not only a future to South Africa, but a better future to the African continent, and thereby to the rest of the world. And he walked his talk. Nelson was what he said he was. He lived it. I experienced this man every day, acting in such an impressive and motivating manner, but yet so humble. Nelson Mandela was the epitome of humility. He was a guy who knew how to collapse his power, not to grab power. He gave people power, and that is why they gave him power. And that is why I think that when Nelson Mandela dies, which may not be too far off anymore, it will be the saddest day in the history of South Africa. And that sadness will cut across all boundaries. It will be white, black, colored, Asian. And what is more, I think it'll cut across all continents. I would foresee that people like Mr. Obama would even go to the funeral of Nelson Mandela to pay tribute to the greatest man who's ever come from the African continent. He taught me that there was a better way to resolve conflict, that resolving conflict by way of the gun was the last option, that the first was to find a way of resolving your conflict by working together with other people, even though there were major ideological divisions. And that he did. That was great.
Soft skills are comparably harder to develop than hard skills. A constant stream of testimonials from our students has proven that they have derived great vocational and personal benefit from your courses. What's the secret behind this? How does your teaching methodology help students build up these important soft skills?
Peter, I honestly believe that I had an advantage by virtue of the fact that I had specialized in psychology, that I had practiced psychology. And as a psychologist, you really learn to understand the deeper inner feelings and motivations of people. So when I got into teaching negotiation, it was relatively easy for me to interact with people, to not only speak the part, but be the part, to live it, to show my excitement and enthusiasm for what I do, and to be able to bring people real life experience, having been there, seen it, done it, and not just to regurgitate what is captured in textbooks and things, but to say, okay, those things are in the back of my mind, but I've translated them. And to understand that negotiation happens between people. It's a very sophisticated form of interaction between people. And if that interaction is inspired by a philosophy of when we work together we create value, when we work against each other we destroy value. I believe it, I live it, I see it. I'm motivated by the philosophy of if I believe it, I'll see it. Not if I see it, then I'll only believe it. And I try to display that in the manner in which I interact with people. And I'm so thankful that it has worked. Very often our academic dean says, you know, these procedures apply to everybody but not to David because he will do it in his own way in any case. I can't live another person's life. I live my own life and I live it as well as I can. And I live it with absolute appreciation for who is around me. I'm a man of Africa. I believe in the philosophy of Ubuntu. And Ubuntu says, I'm a person because of other persons. I believe it. I live it every day. I'm thankful if it has an impact, especially in a country that I love very much.
Thank you for joining us for this chat.
Peter, I would like to say thank you very much, and I want to say a big thank you to everybody at Bimba, to the staff at Bimba, and to the students. Wow, it's a wow experience. It's the kind of thing that, like Archimedes jumped out of the bath and ran naked down the street. This is probably the kind of thing that would want to make me run naked down the street. Thank you very much, and I look forward to coming back to Bimba until the day that the aeroplane says we don't transport old bags of bones anymore. But up to that day, I would love to come back to Bimba.